Bloom, a podcast where we discuss spirituality, philosophy, and personal growth. Hello, and welcome back to this week's episode of Late to Bloom. My name is Trix, and I am your host. In today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about how it is feeling that your faith belongs nowhere, how it is to what you can do, or how you can think about where your faith belongs, because sometimes it's hard to feel you have a community when you don't know where you fit. So I want to talk about that, how it is being eclectic in your faith, and if you don't follow a specific religion, or if you have a religion but don't feel connected to exactly everything about it, and all of that. I want to dig into that in today's episode. I will mainly talk about my own experiences with this, but also touch a little bit on things you can do and how we can build a community together. To me, it has been very tempting to stay in a religion that wasn't right for me because of the community around it. In my case, it was Christianity and the church in which I had been participating for quite a while. And I also liked Christianity because of it was very appealing because of all the things around the religion. I mean, I was very interested in Bible interpretation and Bible studies, and I loved all the Bible journaling Bibles and all the workbooks with how to study the Bible, and prayer journals and everything around Christianity. I know it touches a little bit on consumerism, but I have a lot of Christian workbooks and prayer books and stuff like that, and it was so cozy to fill them with my prayers and with everything around it. And when I got to church, everyone told me that I was so active in my faith and that I was so smart and intelligent who studied the Bible, and I even went to Bible college at a point in my life, and that side of Christianity was I felt fulfilled when I did those things, but the problem lies that I felt like I was living like a double life, because I am queer and I'm bisexual, or sometimes I wonder if I'm just gay. I don't know. I like women way too much to know if I'm even bisexual. So I'm queer, and I was in the church, and there wasn't really that understanding of that aspect of me, and they were even homophobic. It wasn't just that they didn't understood it, it was that they didn't like it either. So I felt like an outsider. At the same time, people called me intelligent and active in my faith. And when God's people started to question me, I started to question God. And the Bible and everything around me, and part of me still believes in Christianity and the core message of Christianity, but part of me have a very hard time to accept God's people when they won't accept me. And I know there are outliers in every religion. I know there are people who understands and supports LGBTQ plus people, and Christians that are feminists, and Christians that are pro-choice, and think abortions are a medical necessity sometimes. And I know there are good, in my opinion, good Christians that have more of how to explain, have more of welcoming and scientific and open-minded mind, if I can say it like that. I know there are plenty of people who are Christian that are very progressive in their views and see the Bible for what it is in the context of that time. But at the same time, I can't ignore all of the people who don't do that, who are just hating on others. And that makes it very hard for me, because I sometimes believe in the core message, but it feels like I'm not allowed to participate in church because of that. Because I'm queer, because I'm feminist, because I believe that a woman, or a person rather, with the uterus has the right to choose if they want to continue pregnancy. It feels like I'm not welcome because I believe in those things. And also, I don't know if it is that clear, or if it is a matter of intent, but in the Bible it forbids witchcraft and mediumship and that kind of New Age stuff. And I feel like without those things I'm not complete. I need to do my rituals and spells, and I am a witch. I was born a witch, in my opinion. I think anybody can be a witch, but in my case, I was born that way. I feel truly that I was born that way because I was so interested in the occult even when I was like a little kid, and it felt so natural to me. And I feel like that natural part I can't just get rid of. And it feels like the Bible isn't very supporting of witches, and if you read the Bible, you know what I'm talking about. And that is one of the main things of why I have maybe strayed away from the Bible quite a lot. It's God's people, but it's also the Bible itself. When it comes to mediumship and witchcraft, I feel like it's unfair to restrict people so much that the Bible does. So I feel like I don't belong in Christianity anymore. But I don't know where I belong anymore. I just know that there is a higher power, there is a God, or maybe a goddess, whatever you want to call it. I am spiritual. I am a spiritual person, and I believe in a higher power, and I believe in ancestors and ghosts and spirits, and I even believe that things around us have spirits like plants and rocks and things. I think I'm, in that regard, am an animist, I think it's called. I believe in the spirit of everything, and everything has a soul. So I am not secular in that case, but I am a skeptic and I am scientific. I believe in evolution. I believe in modern medicine. I believe in modern psychology and everything that is scientific and everything like that. So I'm not rejecting that, but I'm still spiritual, even though I am a skeptic and a scientific person, or scientific science affirming person as well. I don't think the two goes like against I can talk against each other. I just think that they need to be puzzled together a little bit, and sometimes some things aren't explainable, and that's okay. And some things may not go hand in hand, and that's okay as well, because we don't have all the answers and we don't need to have all the answers. But what I'm trying to say is that I have no label, no religion, no nothing, and that is scary, because I have always had a label. I have always seen myself as Christian, and like I said, I'm still believe in the core message, but I feel like I'm not welcomed, so I don't want to practice the religion, even though I might believe on some parts of it. When I'm thinking about it, I'm convinced that labels aren't that important. I think labels are comforting for people, but they aren't necessary. And I think that's the problem with me. I see a label, a religion, a specific knowing what I am as comforting, but at the same time it is not necessary for me to have that. So what can we do to build a community when we don't have one? I think online communities are just as valid as offline communities, and I think we should use the internet for good. I think we should not just complain on social media how it takes over our lives, but that's another conversation for another day. But we can use them for good as well. We can meet other like-minded people, and I think everything becomes what you make it. If you make your online experience more about your faith and meeting others who are like you, then that is what it becomes. If you make, on the other hand, if you make your online presence about stressing about social media and stuff, then it becomes that. So I think it's nothing wrong with using social media and the online spaces to find a community if you don't have an offline community. So that is also what I try to accomplish on my channel on YouTube and elsewhere online. I'm trying to build a community around creativity and faith and philosophy, because I know that there are plenty of creative people that also are spiritual, and I want to create spaces for people that are like me and like the things I like, and I can help other people find their way, and they can help me find my way. And yeah, that's a big part of why I started my YouTube channel. I hope this episode wasn't too rambly. I know it maybe was in some parts, but I hope you enjoyed regardless, and it made you think a little bit in what you have in your own life and your own spirituality. And here it's the end of this episode, and I hope I made you think. I hope I made sense. But I will. I look forward to make this podcast because it's very fun to have this opportunity, and I will use it for good. And yeah, that was everything I had to say this time. I see you in my next episode, and bye.